Man, here we got the frozen rodent that's thawed out and a bloody great black snake in here. There we go, look at this huge thing. He's just under, I don't know how big he is, just under 6 foot, 5.5 foot. It's freaking huge, just eat it. Black snakes are so feral, they've got no brain power whatsoever. Eat it, it's called food. Here, bang, right, okay, he's got it. And this thing is a monster. He would be about 10-year-old. Why is this video so blurry? Doesn't it drive you nuts when you get a blurry video? There we go, zooming in, it's nice and in focus. Anyway, this large black snake is a red belly, of course, and he is about 10. Let me get my. Yeah, he's about 10-year-old now. They live forever, these things. They're absolutely magnificent. He's big. I actually raised him from a tiny little baby. It's hard to imagine. When I got this thing, it was the size of a worm. Anyway, he's been devenomized for most of his life. He's a very good nick. He's not a good rooter. He does root a few times. We've had him root a few times in his life, but I wouldn't call him a good rooter by any stretch of the imagination. When it comes to eating, he's an absolute piglet. He looks reasonably good condition. You can see on his back there's a nice depression along the centre of the spine, but mate, we could easily have him twice his weight if we wanted, but there's no point in having an obese snake. Just as people can become obese and overfed and die prematurely, it's the same with snakes. I'm trying to get this video at a better angle because if you're watching this, you'll probably think I'm a lousy photographer. This is just a crap, cheap and nasty digital camera, and I'm using it because of course they're easy to upload the videos. As you can see now, the snake is getting into it. You can see obviously being devenomized for 7 years or 8 years, however long it's been devenomized now, hasn't affected this snake's appetite. I mentioned this because there was one of our trademark imposters was on the web calling himself Snake Man, and he had a page about venomoids saying how terrible they were and how they die shortly after being cut up and all the rest of it. The interesting thing was this same person actually approached me seeking me to supply him with venomoids so he could big note himself as a snake handler, pretending that he was able to handle these great deadly snakes with great skill. The reality is being devenomized is a good advantage for the snake because it gives them freedom in that they never get picked up with sticks or tongs. This particular black snake, I don't think it's ever been handled with a stick actually in his life, and we treat him just like a python. He's a bit like a boa constrictor. Now, what's happened there, he's having trouble getting the legs down. You see, if that was a taipan, it would have gone straight through by now, but it hasn't. It's a red-bellied black snake. When he was young, he had a nice red belly. He was probably average to slightly better than average in colour. Now his belly is almost completely black in pigment. We have pictures taken, of course, because when we do our reptile shows, these guys are always in pictures, but we have a lot of old pictures of this snake, and he looked absolutely spectacular colour-wise as young. Now that he's big, he's just spectacular because he's big, black and beautiful. But having said that, that's about it. He has actually bitten me once only, and as you'd expect, that was when I was waving one of these rodents in front of him about a year ago, and he took me out instead of the rodent. I mention that because he's never bitten us during shows at all. He's got a perfect record there. I mean, you can stick his head in your mouth and do anything you want with it. And of course our opposition all complained that, oh, it's not fair that snake busters have the unfair advantage of devenomized snakes where they can pick these things up without worrying about a trip to hospital if the snake decides to bite them. Black snakes are very good. They're not particularly intelligent. They are absolutely blind as bats as well. Their eyesight is absolute crap, and that's why feeding time with a red belly is actually quite a dodgy sort of proposition. Now, I must have just moved very slightly and sparked him up. They are actually a bit a jumpy sort of snake, even after you've had them for years. In the cage they can be jumpy. Once they're out of the cage, they're actually very good. They handle very well. They're just nice. They're not completely dead and they don't move. They're just perfect proposition. They're not too fast, not too slow. And as you can see, this guy's woofing into the food, and he's probably about to bite my finger because my finger's very close to it, and he might just lunge up and bite me. But look at that, he's going, oh, food, look, he's ready to bite. I'm sitting on the floor, he's chased me out of the cage. Oh, I'm getting chased by a wrestler. You get chased by everything when they think there's food around. That's the thing about snakes. If you want to get chased by a snake, and you want good footage of a snake chasing you, just make sure they're ugly and you smell a rodent, and they'll be right after. Look at it, he's so funny, isn't he? Anyway, you wouldn't be doing this if the snake had venom, but in my case, I'll just roll away and. You know, he's coming out of the cage, but he's easy to fix. Look, what we do is I just, because he's devenomized, I can just pick him up and say, "Get back in the cage, you feral snake." Look at that, you just pick up. It's like an anaconda. He is. He's huge. Anyway, one mouse is enough because, as I said, he would eat 6 of them. But, well, it's a rat wiener, but he would eat 6 of them. But we don't want our snakes overfed. Just as people should not be overfed, snakes should not be either. Now, our snakes aren't bodybuilders, but we like them to look like them. And just remember, if you want to see the best looking snakes in the best reptile show in complete safety, it's got to be Snake Busters.